acceptable. President Biden gave us
Hi guys,
Holocaust remembrance.
welcome to XCOM 2 War of the Chosen. Jamal the Core Collection.
It was really striking the way that the president did not shy away.
Just loading it up now.
Lessons from the Holocaust.
It's all too little, too late. Nothing more than a symbolic gesture, because why? His far left base is not listening to him. Nobody's listening to him.
CNN's Aaron Burnett asked the president about pro-Palestinian protesters carrying such signs as Genocide Joe.
Do you hear the message of those young Americans?
Absolutely, I hear the message. Look, two things. First of all, there's a legitimate right to free speech and protest. There's not a legitimate right to use hate speech. There's not a legitimate right to threaten Jewish students.
Meanwhile, Biden privately told the Netanyahu government, which conducted a limited raid on Gaza, that he was withholding the shipment of the biggest bombs, at least for now, because he doesn't want the Israelis using them for a full-scale invasion of heavily populated Rafah. The president kept it quiet, but the Israelis leaked it to the media, hoping for a backlash. New York Times columnist Bret Stephens calls it Biden's biggest blunder. After a full day in court, Donald Trump came out not just to trash the hush money trial, but to address reporters on campaign issues, with Israel at the top of the list.
What Biden is doing with respect to Israel is disgraceful. If any Jewish person voted for Joe Biden, they should be ashamed of themselves.
That is not how many Jewish people feel, but some Republicans are taking to the airwaves to rip the president.
So whose side is Joe Biden on?
Well, he's clearly on Hamas side.
Look, we can debate whether Biden's pressure tactic makes sense, but there's no question Biden has largely backed Israel over the opposition of left-wing Democrats, and at the same time is concerned about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. One thing is clear, the Middle East, more than any place in the world, can be best described by journalists as shrouded by the fog of war. Next on Media Buzz, a troubling report on RFK Jr. hiding serious health problems and a real test for the media.
Where the fuck is everybody, man?
It's such a pretty world today. Look at the sunshine. And everything's the same since I met you. Look in the Hotels.com app to find your perfect somewhere.
This is Carmen. Before using TheraBreath mouthwash, she worried about getting a deep clean for her dinner party. Now,
It's swishy time!
swishing with TheraBreath Deep Clean Antiseptic Mouthwash kills 99.9% of germs.
99.9 is the medicine.
Plus, it's alcohol-free, so there's no burn.
You didn't burn your mouth or dinner.
So when Carmen looks in the mirror, she loves what she sees.
You get that? I got that.
Try dentist-formulated TheraBreath Deep Clean Antiseptic Mouthwash.
It's a better mouthwash, I guarantee it.
Clogged gutters can cause big problems fast. Until now. Call 833 Leaf Filter today for your free gutter inspection.
I've had terrible flooding problems on my porch. Now I understand why.
Right now, Leaf Filter is offering a free inspection on your schedule. Leaf Filter is a permanent gutter solution, so you never have to worry about costly damage from clogged gutters again.
Call us today and schedule your free inspection.
Schedule your free inspection. Call 833 Leaf Filter today or visit leaffilter.com.
It's time to feed the dogs real food, not highly processed pellets. The farmer's dog is fresh food made with whole meat and veggies. It's not dry food. It's not wet food. It's just real food. It's an idea whose time has come.
In response to the trade rumors we keep hearing about?
Oh, we're talking about moving? Not the trade. Not the trade. We're talking about move. No thing. You could use open door. Sell your house directly to them. Easy. I guess we'll move.
Go, go, go.
20 seconds a week to lose 20% of your weight in a year with diet and exercise. That's the power of GLP-1s through Ro. Connect with a provider today at ro.co/20.
Have you ever wondered why traditional laundry detergent can contain up to 80% water? We at Earth have created a new dissolvable laundry detergent because why pay extra for water? Join the millions of Americans who made the switch and ditched the plastic. Learn more at earthbreeze.com.
Got a minute? Got a hose? Want a simple way to save money on yard care? How? With Sunday, the customized lawn care plan that's delivered straight to your door. Is that easy? You bet your grass it is. Sunday offers everything you need to get grass that's good for bare feet and bare paws. No more guessing, just lawn care that's better for saving money and saving the planet. So ditch the old ways for Sunday Fun Days. Go to getsunday.com and use code FUNDAY50 for 50% off your first lawn box.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has been hiding serious medical problems from the public, and that was just exposed by the New York Times. Now, RFK, who's only 70, makes a great show of physical fitness, skiing, snowboarding, shirtless weightlifting, as of any other kind. But the Times reveals a diagnosis more than a decade ago of a worm that got into RFK's brain, ate part of it, and died, causing him memory loss and mental fogginess, according to Kennedy's own deposition. Here's more. RFK has suffered for decades with atrial fibrillation and irregular heartbeat, and has been hospitalized for that 4 times, and he's also been diagnosed with mercury poisoning from eating too much fish. That brought both mockery and medical analysis.
I do think he's the only of the 30 major candidates that have had a dead worm or worms eating part of his brain. So,
and you basically go in and, similar to a tumor in a way, you would go in and basically just remove that cyst.
Joining us now from Palm Beach, Caroline Downey, a reporter for National Review. And Mike Emanuel, Fox's chief Washington correspondent. Caroline, we wouldn't know about brain damage and memory loss and other serious ailments if it wasn't for the New York Times. Doesn't the public have a right to know about the health of a presidential candidate, especially one who's polling at 10 or 12% and even higher in some of the swing states?
Howie, exactly. All 3 major presidential candidates are in a close contest to see which is most likely to be incapacitated in office. 2 have memory loss, 1 is a certified geriatric, and the other had brain worms. And like you said, it's the New York Times subhead that said RFK Jr. had previously undisclosed health issues. That is the heart of this. The media has reignited the debate over whether presidential candidates should release their medical records so that voters can make an informed choice. CNN cited multiple former presidents who hid their serious health conditions from the public, like Woodrow Wilson suffered a debilitating stroke that affected him for the rest of his tenure. John Fetterman, though he's been shot lately, is proof that we can't take a candidate at their word when they say they're strong as a horse. I mean, we saw that debate with him where he struggled to speak, even though his doctor is assured.
I gotta get Mike in because I think the media failing this test. Are we only interested in the horse race, in the polling, in the spoiler role of RFK, or do we take Kennedy seriously enough to grapple with these issues? Because there's been here's how to avoid getting a worm, but very little on the non-disclosure.
I think the New York Times doing this deep dig into his health is a sign that he's a player, basically, that he's not some fringe candidate who may get less than 1% of the vote.
Wouldn't bother.
Right. He may get double digits, and so I think that's why they took a deep dive. And so I think it's perfectly legitimate to do a full scrub because he's seen as the young guy in the race.
Yeah.
70 years old, the shirtless weightlifting, and all that stuff, and skiing. And so to get into his health is a perfectly legitimate thing.
Well, he brushed it off in a tweet, if we could put that up. I offered to eat 5 more brain worms and still be President Trump, President Biden in a debate. Very funny. But, Caroline, shouldn't RFK be apologizing for withholding this critical information and rather than just sort of tossing it off as a semi-joke?
As I said, it's about transparency for the public. I do think citizens should know whether a presidential candidate who's a front runner should be able to govern effectively. And they thought this was a tumor at first, and it was a misdiagnosis, turned out to be a parasite, but I mean, he suffered from memory loss as a result. I mean, his cognitive function significantly declined, and the fact that the public was in the dark about this until the New York Times dug through the divorce filings is somewhat troubling. That being said, Trump is no spring chicken either, and for him to go after RFK for health, well, let's just say that they all have some concerning health backgrounds.
Well, I want to play some more sound because Donald Trump made a 4-minute video attacking RFK Jr., who apparently has concluded that he might potentially lose more votes to a guy whose name is Kennedy. And let's play that and we'll talk about it on the other side.
And for those of you that want to vote because you think he's an anti-vaxxer, he's not really an anti-vaxxer. I'd even take Biden over Jr. because our country would last about a year or two longer than it would with Jr. It would collapse almost immediately.
You'd even take Biden over Jr., which is the new nickname, but it is part of RFK's name.
Well, absolutely. But I think this is a sign that he's a serious threat.
Yeah.
We've been speculating whether he would take away from Biden or whether he would take away from Trump. And I think initially a lot of people thought he would take away from Biden because he comes from a political dynasty of the Democratic Party.
A lot of people probably still think he's a Democrat.
But the three-way race polling so far shows that he may be hurting Trump more. And so Trump's taking him on head on, thinking he's a serious threat.
MSNBC host Ari Melber is an aggressive interviewer and a good legal analyst, but he recently, this week, did a 2-segment interview with RFK, mostly about Kennedy should consider Trump a more dangerous to the country than Biden. Kennedy had his own view on that. And he didn't even mention the health disclosures. Let's roll that.
You do seem at times to be warm towards President Trump, and he is clearly warm towards you. And I would definitely disagree with that. He just called me a radical effing liberal.
Whatever you say. Carolyn, I'll just give you the ball.
Well, I think to Mike's point, the issues that tend to animate Trump voters also could animate support for RFK, especially on the COVID mismanagement, the way that the pandemic was handled. That was a scandal, and people who, at least in Florida, where I'm currently based, I know for a fact that the sympathies that lie with Trump on that, they also lie with RFK, and many outlets believe that RFK could steal supporters from Trump. But it makes sense from a strategy standpoint for Trump to portray RFK as a legacy liberal from the Kennedy clan because it makes him compete with Biden, which he desperately needs him to do.
Well, I wish him the best of health, but I still can't believe this is nothing more of a story. And by the way, it's a problem for Trump and Biden to bring up because they haven't released their medical records either, and neither has Kennedy after the break. The media dazed and confused by Marjorie Taylor Greene's latest moves against Speaker Mike Johnson and his Democratic ally.
When you show dogs at Westminster Dog Show as long as we have,
people always ask for pet tips. For us, joint health comes first.
And it starts with Cosequin. Our dogs are like athletes in the ring.
But at home, there are companions just like yours.
Our veterinarian recommends giving them Cosequin every day.
For the moments that matter.
Trust Cosequin.
Cosequin, the #1 veterinary recommended retail joint health brand, an official joint health supplement of the Westminster Dog Show.
Make your first move with battery power made by steel. Right now, save $50 on select battery lawnmower sets. Real steel, like yours. It's hard to run a business on your own. Make it easier on yourself. With Shopify, everything you need to sell online and in person. You can have your inventory, payments, and customers in sync across all the places you sell. It doesn't have to be lonely at the time. Join the millions to find success on their own terms. Start your journey with the free trial today.
My name is Ruth. I'm from Dallas, Texas. I've done 10 rounds of Pro-Life. I think the most important way to take care of your health as you age is to exercise and to eat right. But what I learned is that you can't outrun a bad diet. The easiest thing about doing Pro-Line is you don't have to prepare for it. It's all done for you. Just open the box. It says Pro-Line. I feel healthy and as energetic as I ever have in my life. fertilizer. And I believe Oman has made that possible.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Maybe the one late. Put a little better GM action on it now. Any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, and every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball, then it's not even a ball. Who needs a ball? Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hold, elapsed. Right from the end of your seat.
When you buy or sell your car exactly how you want with car gurus, you might begin to wonder, what if you could do things your way all of the time? Some dreams do come true. Get your car. Get it with gurus.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't this great?
Yeah!
Moving is ordered.
Yeah. I can do a cartwheel in here.
Okay. Would you like to join us now? We would love to join you.
Marjorie Taylor Greene made it clear she would officially file her motion this week to boot Mike Johnson from the Speaker's chair. And then, after a couple of meetings with Johnson, she did.
Congressman, last week you said you were absolutely going to trigger the motion to vacate this week. Is that no longer the case?
Well, we'll see. It's up to Mike Johnson.
But the Congresswoman quickly reversed course and did officially file the motion to vacate. She got clobbered, winning only 11 Republican votes. Hakeem Jeffries and Democrats rescued the Speaker in the overall pro-Johnson vote, 359 to 43.
The Democrats say to Nancy Pelosi voted for him. Nancy Pelosi doesn't vote for Republicans unless she has full control of the House. I don't want to be plunged into chaos, but that's what Mike Johnson has done to us, bypassing Joe Biden's full agenda.
We can't get 100% of what we want, and sometimes a handful of my colleagues demand that. It's just not possible right now.
Caroline Downey, the media coverage of MPG clearly suggests, some people would suggest that this is about her getting attention because the Democrats had signaled that they would bail out the Speaker if it came to it, and that's exactly what happened.
I can handle that. Yeah, Howie, I mean, New York Magazine called the ouster attempt MAGA theater, arguing that Greene knew this was a dead end going in, but she wanted to be on the record opposing Johnson. I guess mission accomplished, but to what end?
Excellent.
Trump said, leave him alone, let's focus on 2024. Mike Johnson inherited a very tough balance of power in Congress that probably made it futile to obstruct that foreign aid package that Greene railed against. I mean, yes, the House Freedom Caucus is furious now because there is border security, but what they did was the speakership showdown before November when the GOP majority, which is razor thin, is at stake.
Yeah, 6 months before an election. So, Michael Emanuel, journalists were talking last week. Why would she do this in the face of certain defeat because of what the Democrats had said? She got the 11 Republicans on her side. That would have been enough to topple them, but Hakeem Jeffries and his group said, we're not going to let that happen.
But I think the first part where 8 Republicans took out all the media coverage, raised money, their profiles, and so maybe she thought this is an opportunity to raise her profile. I thought
her brand, in other words.
Yeah, I thought she was looking for an exit ramp, to be honest with you. It was clear that, but she, I guess, felt like she had to go forward, or else people would say she chickened out or something to that effect. But I mean, in this political environment, 359 or 43 is like as close to unanimous bipartisan as you get in this environment.
Right.
So, stunning review.
Well, some did say she was chickening out in the 15 minutes between when she said she's not doing it and when she did it. So, Caroline, Politico says Mike Johnson is not some Forrest Gump character, for those who've seen that movie, but actually pretty skillful. He changed his position, got through the foreign aid package, including aid to Ukraine, not that popular with the GOP and Israel, and then maneuvering to save his job.
Right. He's handling very difficult circumstances. Like I said, the balance of power is not necessarily in the GOP's favor. And the fact that so many Freedom Caucus members voted to save him and there were only a little over 10 defectors, I think really shows that he's doing the best he can. And I want to point out that Green's record is a bit inconsistent here because most staunch Republican lawmakers believe that Johnson was an upgrade from Kevin McCarthy. And she ran interference for McCarthy. She defended him to the bitter end, even though when it came to capitulating to Democrats on policy, you could argue they were quite comparable. So why the change?
Yeah, they both face the same problem, which is that Republicans don't control the government. And so, Mike, Johnson had Trump's backing at times, and other times he stood up to Trump. He owes the Democrats big time for saving his bacon. Did they get something in return? We know what she got, which is sitting here talking about her.
Well, I think with the foreign aid package, they felt like they did get something. And that he played ball.
Yeah.
He showed the courage to clear down the floor. And so I think they're thinking he may be willing to work with them. His language has been very careful about the Democrats. He doesn't call them the enemy. He talks to them about people who have a different philosophy, have different priorities, but he's looking for ways to work with them. And so some are hopeful this may bring us back from being super polarized to actually getting some things done. We'll see.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Right, but between elections is a perfect time to pick new leadership. Right now, with a razor-thin, microscopic majority, not a great time to do that.
Yeah, and it would have been a repeat of the McCarthy episode with who knows how long it would have gone on. I got about half a minute, Caroline. There is something of a backlash among some Republicans toward Marjorie Taylor Greene and talk that she might be kicked off committees. I don't know how serious that is, but what's your quick take?
Yes, multiple outlets have said this, but like I said, very staunch, principled conservatives argue that this is a spectacle that she's pulling so close to 2024.
Yo.
This will be the second time that the caucus has tried to oust their elected leader. It's not great for stability in the chamber, and I think that's what everybody wants right now.
Yeah, don't believe everything here in the media, but there are always possibilities. Caroline Downey, Mike Emanuel, thanks. Still to come, doggone it. Christy Nome abruptly cancels her book tour, and a reporter suspended for mistreatment of basketball's Caitlin Clark.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things. And some people don't. Bundle your home and auto with Allstate and save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Work. Play. Blink. Relief. Work. Play. Blink. Relief.
The only 3-in-1 extended relief formula for dry eyes.
Blink.
My name is Dr. Zach. I'm a doctor of podiatric medicine.
My name is Todd. I'm a paramedic firefighter. Been on the job for 28 years.
My name is Dr. Peter Munther. I'm a chiropractor in New York, Long Island. I've been taking Balance of Nature for 23 years.
I love Balance of Nature, and this is definitely a product that I would recommend to other people. And I'll never stop taking it.
I make 70-year-old pictures, As far as Balance of Nature goes, I'll keep taking this stuff until I die. I'm almost 55 years old, and because I have so much vitality, I can really enjoy the great outdoors. Our bodies are kind of like machines. If you do not give the machine the proper nutrition, it's not going to work very well. Simple as that.
Start your journey with Balance of Nature supplements. Get 35% off your first order as a preferred customer. Call or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code Fox News.
Biden's warning to Israel. What are the next moves in Rafah mean for U.S. support in the war? Benjamin Hall has critical insight on the next Fox News Sunday.
When things go sideways, will you be prepared? Hey, it's Kate Courtney, former Navy SEAL platoon.
Last 2 years, it's been really challenging. When you consider, I feel that for things that food, the cost of food down, help with groceries and other necessities that it just always brings a smile. Thanks to United Rates, just like myself, live in great safety.
specialist.
Clubs, leagues, and courts in every province and territory across Canada. Squash is the sport for wall-to-wall
It's
fun,
good.
bigness, and friendship. From coast to coast to coast. Learn to play and you'll want to do it every day. Squash. Play inside the box.
Chrissy Nome has been dogged by her admission in her own book that she shot and killed her puppy and a goat. And of course it's come up in her TV interviews. The South Dakota governor has even stopped commenting on a debunked tale, which the publishers were moving, that she met with Kim Jong-un. And she is tired of all the canine questions.
Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
You know, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage, and I've met with many world leaders.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un? That's what you're saying?
No, I've met with many world leaders.
Enough, Stuart. This interview is ridiculous, what you are doing right now. So you need to stop. It is. Okay. It is. Let's talk about some real topics that Americans care about. Oh, well, of course we are.
No has now canceled her book tour, bailing on CNN's Dana Bash and Fox's Greg Gutfeld, supposedly because of the weather.
I don't believe it. I just think it's a little late to keep her on a short leash. I'd hope she'd reconsider, but I'm not going to sit up and beg.
Whoops. Well, her advisors must have said, Governor, please stop digging this hole. The Pulitzer Prizes were awarded this week, and the Washington Post handled its 3 wins this way. First 2 paragraphs all about the Post. In the last sentence of the 5th paragraph, oh, by the way, the New York Times also won 3 awards. The Times taking a different approach with the headline, the New York Times, and the Washington Post with 3 Pulitzers each. And that's how it should be done. Now that LA Dodgers superstar Shohei Ohtani has been cleared of any wrongdoing, his former interpreter has pleaded guilty to stealing a whole lot of money from him, as first reported by ESPN and the Los Angeles Times. Ted Mizuhara has been stealing $17 million from his friends' accounts to cover his own out-of-control gambling, to plead a bank fraud, and false tax filing, carry a maximum of 33 years in prison, and will eventually be deported to Japan. Basketball superstar Caitlin Clark has this favorite gesture, shaping her fingers over her heart. Now, a pretty lame joke about Clark has led the Indianapolis Star to suspend sports writer Greg Doyle.
Real quick, how would you do this?
You like that?
I like the jerk here. I like the jerk here.
I do that on my camera after every game, so.
Okay, well, you go. Start doing it to me. Doyle with exchange also want to keep him the season with the Indiana Fever. Only by watching the games on TV. As for Kaylin's debut, that's the Rocks. That's it for this edition of Media Buzz. I'm Howard.
Save this.
Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You can subscribe to my daily podcast.
I'll see you guys next time. All right, peace out.
Top 5 stories and lots of weird stories. And with the only media now national television.
Where the windows are always Pella. Pella's fiberglass is the strongest material for windows and patio doors. The fiberglass frame is even scratch and dent resistant. Pella windows, tested for extremes.
Delete it.
I don't want to work up with this dress on.
Scott's Healthy Plus with Currents.
Lawn disease?
Been going around.
So, like, other people have it, and it's like...